my gosh, this thing keeps falling on her face.
Anyway, Niguchi?
Am I Gucci?
Mm-hmm. Or are you Prada?
I'm I'm Fendi. I don't know.
Wow.
Don't ask me these questions.
All right. Could have
I
gone
don't
with
know.
like a Versace
I'm
or
I'm Polo. I'm I'm Lacoste.
look.
No, no, no. I'm Ed Hardy. just just do it. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. Are you okay?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another recap.
You didn't.
I'm so done.
We
Oh
haven't even
my
started.
goodness.
We
Uh, today is April 21st, 2016. We are back with another recap Thursday for you wonderful ladies and gentlemen. We had a 2 week off
we
offer
did. It was
uh
weird.
because of Comic Con.
Easter. And no,
No,
yeah,
that's
Easter.
whoa, whoa.
Emerald City Comic Con.
Yes, because of Comic Con.
Yeah.
So we're back,
Yep.
and it feels good, man. Feels good,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yep.
So we last left off. We had side quest complete.
Mm-hmm.
Devril freed an innocent guy,
Mm-hmm.
and Val has had somebody approach her at the tavern.
Yes. Who knows her by name?
Yes, while the other boys are pounding away each other in a hot, steamy forge. That's it. All right, all right. Anyway, so this elf approaches Val
Mm-hmm.
and asks her. She's part of the mercenary group. They appear to be a mercenary group that had just a group of them entered the tavern. And yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
wanna go or
I didn't write much down.
okay? They had a
'Cause I
conversation. Okay.
yeah. Okay, well
We'll
actually
just
no no no. I have
yeah.
this. So
Okay,
so
okay.
Val once the elf intercept it's another elf that intercepts her and grabs her by the shoulders and she goes, Val and Val well, Evander and Ileana we do like a knowledge check
Evander.
about the symbol, the emblem or whatever. Um and we know
What?
what it
No,
is.
no.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Evander is not there. You
But
sweet, sweet.
he rolled anyway. I
I.
wrote. Okay, whatever. So anyway, so Val put. So Val pulls the elf around the corner. Her name is Leah.
Mm,
Leah Donna for long.
yeah.
Uh, and she goes, and Val's like, "I'm sorry, I don't remember you." And the other girl says, "I'm your sister."
Oh.
What? Turns
Yep.
out she's her youngest sister. She hasn't seen her in a year or two, which is the blink of an eye for an elf because elves live really long.
It.
Um, yeah.
It. It's been more than that. It was 40 years.
Oh, I obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was 40
Um,
years, which is a
already
blink of an
then.
eye, and yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, Val starts crying. Um,
Yep.
and grabs Leah and apologizes profusely. Says sorry over a dozen times. Um, and so the sister looks to her group and she says, I'll be right back." And they go up to Val's room and have a little bit of alone time. to catch up.
Before, as soon as they re-enter into view after going
Oh,
around the
that's right.
corner,
Yeah.
Devril, aka Zyron, the Zyron now, actually slams the table and gets up and says, "Oh, you making trouble for Val over there?" Or something along the lines, and he gets into it starts up an altercation. The head honcho dude, I did not write his name. Garrick
Yeah, Garrick
is
Holt.
yeah, um,
Captain Holt.
yeah, Captain Holt. Places a hand and basically ask Zyron to apologize. Or he says that he doesn't, his men don't take too kindly to being talked at like that. To which Zyron doesn't really care, but Ilyana does, and she stops the whole thing from going further. Damn it!
Yeah, the
Uh,
whole
the
thing.
the the only way she knows how.
With her face. So, yeah, Zyron says that he doesn't like the face,
Yeah,
and she comes up and tries to defuse the situation, and the guy goes, "Oh well, you know what? You'd better tell him to go, like tell him to calm down, or we're gonna have a problem." And she goes, "Ugh, okay," and grabs him by the face and plants a big old smooch on
we
his
could have
mouth.
had a problem. It
Could have had a
could
problem,
been
but
could have.
we had a solution.
Is that what you called it? Got it.
Oh yes. And so they lay off. They see what's going on, and the guy says, "Oh, you better take your man to bed." And she goes, "I intend to." And and such a thing happens.
Yeah, no, that's basically what Zyron and Ilyana do for the remainder of the night.
Yep.
But Val and her sister basically have a talk. Leia, she tells Leia that she has no memory. She doesn't know what's happened, and she asks if it's possible she feels like she died, and she shows
Mm-hmm.
Leia all her scars that would prove fatal for any other person, and she asks because she can do magic, if bringing back somebody from the dead was possible.
Yeah.
And her sister is actually really startled by that. She thought it was a myth. She thought it was just a legend, that it's not true. But she has kind of circumstantial proof that's exactly what happened to Val. So she says that Val's best option is to go and seek out the sages, the elf sages that live in the woods, for answers, because they would be the best people to know if such a thing happened, if such a thing were possible.
Yeah.
Besides that, they randomly catch up. Leia, fills in Val to things that she should probably know: their parents' name, their family status, things, basically things that she should know if she's going to seek this, so she doesn't seem like she's dumb. I don't know. but
Yeah.
basically the long gist of it is she left home after getting into an argument with her brother, who was also her teacher, who taught her how to use magic, and
Mm-hmm.
she hasn't been home since. So when Val asked Leia if she knows what she does, Leia's like, "I'm not really sure. I kind of see you every, decade or so on the road, and you just seem to be studying, teaching yourself, traveling, all the works, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it, and
Did you
that
talk about
was.
the twin sister?
I did not.
Val has a twin sister. Her name is Velisan, or San for
Identical.
short. Identical, yeah.
Identical twin
And
sister.
she is not a mage.
Hmm. She's the poster child because she's the one that stayed home as like captain of the guard or like captain of
Yeah.
a regiment or something, which takes after her mother, who is also like a general of the elf
Yeah.
whatever, yeah, something.
And their father is the
Yeah,
mage.
is a mage, and he
Yeah.
sits on the High Council of Elves.
Yes.
We don't know what that is, but it sounds
Sounds
pretty
important.
important. Sounds pretty
Totally.
important. So yes, so Leia basically points out on, says you should go to these places. You should seek it out. Uh, Evander and Nurhaz come in late, and they actually they they rolled for this, and they stumble into Val's room and start spooning on the floor in their bedrolls because there's only one bed.
And they help
As-
each other out of their armor. And Nur has his armor clasps in the front.
it's fantastic.
Yeah. So the next morning, Zyron or Devril, we're not sure which one yet, gets out of bed,
Mm.
and Ileana also wakes up. She's awake at this time. It's pretty early. Um, and what does he say? What does he say to her?
He doesn't say anything, but he's putting on his
Oh,
armor.
he just grunts.
Yeah, he basically huffs at you
Yeah.
when he sees you awake. Now it's funny because you would have gotten if you decided to stay asleep. Remember, I gave you the choice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you rolled for it or you just
I
decided.
did roll
I think
for
you
it.
rolled for it. Yeah.
I did.
If you decided to stay, there would have been some. Ooh, there would have been something, but it didn't happen.
Damn it!
That's
You
it. That's
should've
it.
just
I'm
told
just
me.
nope. I am not going to influence your decisions, girl. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, seeing Ilyana sit up and get up, after finishing putting on his armor, he looks over, gives her a,
And she goes, "Oh,
exhales
you liked
towards,
it."
yeah, exhales towards her direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ilyana says, you like it, and he walks out, not saying anything.
Yep.
He's as he sits there, eating breakfast and drinking his morning cider. He's joined quickly by Evander and Hollow.
And Nurhaz.
And yeah, Nurhouse comes. You're right.
Because Nurhaz
Val's
gives
still
you
up.
the thing.
Yep. He places the full plate that they were working on, the full plate armor that they were working on. It says, well, go ahead, boy, try it. And that's right there. Zyron, takes off his armor. He's wearing clothes underneath, but takes off his armor. The early risers from the mercenary band, do playful whistles as he's, technically undressing in the middle of the place, but Zyron pays no attention to them, and he puts it on, and Nara's just like, does it pinch? And Zyron says no, it fits, perfectly, and Nara's is pretty happy, and he says, I'll put it to good use, and that's that. When Val comes down, she goes and sits by Leia and the band of mercenaries. Evander turns to Zyron and, for questions, and looks at Nurhaz, is like, what's going on? And he joins. He joins over there, and they have a grand old time. Now, you come down.
Mm-hmm. I was actually there for when you were stripping because I told you to.
That's right.
I told you to slow down.
You were late. You were late, but you were there for that's right.
Yeah.
You were there for that part. So after Val and Leia, or Val and Evander are over there at the mercenary table. Nurhaz is eating his breakfast next to Ilyana. Or Ilyana's sitting next to him, and Zyron's across from the table in his new spiffy armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You left to get paid, and then you came back.
Oh, is that when? Okay,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. Yeah. So Zion remembers that he did a service, and he's like, how do adjudicators get paid? And he racks his brain, and he remembers that adjudicators have a seal, like a wax seal with a date stamp, and they get paid by the church. So once a month they get a stipend, or a salary for that month, and they can give the seal and get paid. So he goes upstairs and rummages through his things, and sure enough, he has a seal with a date stamped, and it's stamped the 1st of Fourth.
yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds
the
right.
1st of Fourth. Um, and he has no idea how long that was. They just recently learned that they're in the month of Mercator, and they're just now
It's
counting the
like the
days.
seventh or something.
It is the 11th of
Ele-
Mercator.
oh, right, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a
We
week.
started we started on the 5th.
Yeah.
The 5th of Mercator was the weird moon.
Yes.
Yes,
The weird tide.
the
Yeah.
weird tide. Yeah.
With a Y. Weird with a Y.
Yeah, because
Because
fantasy.
yeah, exactly. Because
So
fantasy.
so yeah, so he takes a seal, his this wax seal downstairs, and he says, Evander, can I have a moment? And Evander's in really good spirits, and he's like, "Oh, have you met these mercenary cats and or mercenary guys?" And Zaren's
Zar's
just
like,
like,
nope,
"Yup,
don't care.
yeah, nope, nope," just like, "Yup, don't like them." And then he's like, "They don't like you much," and I'm like, "Don't like them either."
No.
But he asked, and I'm like, "Hey, Evander, when is this date?" And it was last month. That was it. It was last month, and then I'm like, "Perfect, I'll be back." And then and he's like, what is this about? And I'm like, hopefully, well, this will help us, or something along those lines. And I'll tell you later. And he goes,
Nurhaus approves.
yeah, Nurhaus approves. He's like, I smell somebody about to get money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zion takes this and goes back to the church where we left off Ellie. Says, I've come to get paid, and it's like, oh, I don't know what did I write down. I keep on saying mercenary band, but they are called the Crimson Fletchers.
The Fletches.
Fletches.
Because Tay kept calling them Fletchers and
Yeah,
Jeff kept,
yeah,
kept
yeah.
correcting it. They're the
Um,
Crimson Fletches.
Fletches,
Yeah,
yeah.
so when Val asked Leah about them before, she just says that they came from all around. Leah joined them about 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and they are mercenaries, so they
Yeah.
kill
And
for money.
she is the only woman, and she is the only elf.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um,
yeah,
but elves are really rare anyway, so yeah, it's like the first elf that we've stumbled upon, even though in like this week. So
yeah.
um but the attendant there says that, oh, you have your seal, and I forget what he called it. He named it something like on the spot, but I didn't write it down. The
I didn't write it down either.
the seal that Devril Ziren wear, that proves he's adjudicator. Found out that it does actually, it has a downward facing sword and the torch, and it's not something that you can replicate. It's made out of steel. It has gold. It has silver. It's expensive looking, and he presents them to the guy. He's like, okay, expects it. Brings about this huge treasure chest, and unlocks it, takes the key out from under his robe and unlocks it, and there is a ton of money, like a metric
Lots of
fuck ton of
a
money.
metric fucked. Exactly.
uh Even, yeah, so taking into consideration what currency is that we've just found out, this is a lot of money. And the brother takes out a pouch and counts 25 gold pieces and puts them in the pouch and
Mm-hmm.
hands it to Zyron. He takes his wax seal, scrapes off the wax, drips on more, and then stamps it with the new date, the 11th of Mercator, and gives it back. Now, this is really, we got into a discussion. Me and Bunny got into a discussion in the car, and he's like, "Do you remember what the guy who paid you said when he examined your seal?" And I'm like, "Yes." He muttered the word, acolyte. And he's like, how much does a higher ranked judicator get paid if like an acolyte gets 25 gold? And I was just like, I don't know, but I want all the ranks. And he's like, don't
Yeah.
fucking die.
Yeah, you better
Like,
not, because you
and
gotta make it rain
yeah,
eventually.
and he was just like, okay, so new plan. This is the Raethborne eco strat. Everyone re-rolls judicators, get paid for a month, and then we kill off all our characters and just transfer all that money over to the new characters, and we can have endgame gear. And I was just like, absolutely, let's go metagaming.
Okay. I'm in. Let's do it.
Yeah, all adjudication. Hey, if we get 25 gold a month, even if we all live for just a month, that's still a metric fuck ton of gold. I'm just
Oh yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah. That's all we
Anyway,
need. We'll be fine.
um, shit, and then maybe we can buy a mechanical dragon, in this place, because you
You know
never got
what?
one.
Ah, ouch. It's a heavy cat.
Don't let your dreams be memes. Uh, so
You
yeah,
guys wouldn't give me an alchemical dragon,
No,
so
we tried,
no,
and
you
then
didn't even try a little bit. You just
I
talked
did,
about it.
I did. Grim tried. He was
We had
banking
enough.
money. We was banking money. I'm sorry. Okay.
We had enough, man. I'm so bitter.
Um. Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway,
Zion gets back, and Evander to the lodge, and Evander is there, and he says, we call everybody to the table, back to the table. Val is
no, we
still
don't.
chill. No,
No,
Val
we
is
don't.
still. Oh, this is it. This is it.
No, we
Right. We were
don't.
leading. We
So
were leading up to
yes,
this.
I will take this. So
Yes.
Zyron comes back to the table, and he sits down with Nerhaz and Ileana, who are eating their breakfast and drinking their cider and stuff. And Nerhaz has asked Ileana about the 10
No, no,
silver,
no.
10
One
gold.
silver.
Oh,
One
one
silver.
silver.
He just gave you one silver, and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
right.
he
Oh, it's
asks you,
10 coppers. I still
yeah,
owe him.
10 coppers and 10 coppers. He's like, how much are the rooms? And you said 10 coppers, and he's like, so where was my other 10? Because it's
She's like,
20
I don't
coppers.
know.
Leverage.
Yeah, leverage. That's what she said. And he's like, and then writes it down in his book. Um, so yeah, so while they're talking about that, Zyron comes and sits down, and Ileana notices that it is Zyron. It's not Devril. So she asks him casually why he's still here, because in the past he's just come out for a little bit and then left when he wanted to, and Deborah would take over, but he's Zyron has been in the driver's seat for much longer than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so she asks him why he's still here, and he completely ignores her, and talks to Nurhaz instead.
Yeah.
So
And
when he
talks
does,
to him about the money that he just got. So
yeah,
they were talking money. So he's just like,
yeah,
okay,
and
we have more in the funds. Hopefully it'll help.
yep, and Ileana is not having this, so she takes her knife or her fork or whatever she's eating with, and she stabs it into the table, and it makes a huge clatter, and
What a
everyone kind of
violent woman. Jesus.
and she goes, you didn't answer my question. And Zyron's like, oh, well, would you believe that he likes to sleep in or something? And she's like, if you keep freaking answering me with questions, we're gonna have a problem. And he's like, I just wanted to stick around for a little while
No,
or
you
something.
because you asked him 3 times. The second
Yeah,
time he answers with, I don't remember the last time, or I don't remember agreeing to answer to you.
Oh yeah, and she's
That
like, I'm gonna ruin Deborah's life if you don't
yeah.
answer me. And
Yeah.
he's like,
Well, you don't say that. You say your other half.
your other half's
Cause
life,
yeah,
yeah.
cause Naraz and Hollow are just like, what, huh? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and so he Zyron goes, well, I had a chance to
Even if
stick around, and I took it. Will that explanation suffice? And he gives her a little mock,
Milady,
yeah,
yeah.
mock curtsy, and yeah, I think you drop it. I think.
She goes, well, just don't be a nuisance
Oh
while you're.
yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
she storms off. She goes and packs up her stuff.
Nuisance. Zyron, come on.
You
That's
tried to start a bar fight there, buddy.
oh, I'm just saying that was a totally different. That's Zyron, and then there's drunk Zyron, and then there's Devril, and then there's just drunk Zyron. There's no drunk Devril.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, yeah. So there's that. So she goes upstairs, and we start talking about where we're going, or what the plan is now. Um, and so Nurhaz brings up the map. Sorry, I spaced out there. Nurhaz brings up the map, and we start looking at things and pointing things out. And the original plan was to go north to the dwarves. We're on the western part of the lake, technically.
Right.
And we were going to go north, skirt around the edge of the lake, visit the dwarves, touch base with them, because maybe we can get answers for Nurhaz, and then go from there, right? Basically go from there. Seeing as how the dwarves, the merchant dwarf, I forgot his name, it's on the other sheet.
Oh, Runske?
Bronske. Yeah.
Yeah.
Treated him, and he was an outsider, and everybody knows, we haven't brought this up, but everybody knows that he's a quote unquote criminal.
Mm-hmm. We're
Uh,
like, they're not probably gonna take to him
yeah,
too well.
yeah. And we've kind of gathered that the dwarves don't really like outsiders or visitors, so it might not be the best. So we call Val over, and being like, hey, you reconnected with your sister. Did she give you a heading? Because this is the first kind of pieces of information, like any sort of lead that any one of us has to get their memories back. And she says, perfect, my sister said seals go to the sages, and they I don't know. Yeah. Go to the sages, and we might actually get some answers. Might get some answers about this whole being dead and coming back to life, because
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Val tells her that she thinks she died.
yeah, the night before, and we all kind of have it like it's kind of just been this unspoken thing, like everybody has really bad, and then you have your neck thing, and
Yeah.
Devril has literally, it looks like he's just been stabbed.
Steve was a pincushion.
Yeah, that's so yeah, there's that, and so she points out in the map that it's on the western or the eastern side, in Bannock's place, like in Bannock's or past Bannock's territory, which means that we would have to
Go through
kind of
sand.
go through Sandin and go through that, and we're like, no, like that's
Like that's the
not.
opposite direction that that's
we
the opposite
just
of what we want to do.
we just ran away from there because we didn't want
Exactly.
anything to do with that, so let's not. So we hashed out, and she has some options. Uh, there's a closer, there's an outpost, an elven outpost that's closer, but Leia's not sure if there's gonna be anyone there.
Yeah.
So we might just be wasting our time if we go there. It is closer, but Zaren's like, I'd rather not, like, we're already chasing so many ghosts. I'd rather not add any more, right? We want something more concrete. So that would be Lethanar. And there's the forest, which we don't know this, but it's the high. It was the old. Um, it was the old high, like, sept or like high seat of the elves. Like, it was the old capital city before their defeat, destruction, the invasion of humans, whatever you want to call it, is there.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a dangerous forest that no one has ever come out of. Is basically what is
Yeah.
said.
Sounds
Uh,
great.
yeah, sounds great. Let's do it. Hollow, hearing that, is all for it. She's like, "Let's go there. Let's go that way." And we're
Are
like,
you friggin' insane?
all
That's a
right,
terrible
crazy,
idea.
crazy hair woman. So we end up the whole point is, Zarin says that everyone is entitled to getting the fair chance to get answers, right? We can't jump to conclusions just because one dwarf didn't like Nurhaz, right? So Zarin proposes that they still go north because it's still on the way, and instead of going by boat because there was the Amarians and they might be patrolling the lake now with their boats, and we don't want to do that. We
Yeah.
would go around the long way, hit the dwarves up. If they let us in, they let us in. If they don't, they don't. It's perfect. We just carry on. We go through Lethanor, the forest, instead of circumnavigating around to cut time and also, you know, make Hollow happy because she really wants to go in
She
there.
really wanted to go, yeah.
And then make our way to I don't remember where, but the new city,
Um,
where
there was a
what's
mention of a place called Dumaras.
that's the outpost.
Yeah, the mention of that
Oh,
makes like impacts Holo somehow. It makes her look like she's been winded. But no one notices. Like
yeah,
none of us
that
notice.
sucked.
And Holo's just standing there like
I
because
thought Dumaras was the greeting. That was the god, the elven god. Yeah,
oh
that
yeah.
wasn't the outpost. So
Oh yeah,
hold
someone's
on.
like
Yeah,
yeah.
hold on.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what we decided. So Val, skips over, and I was just like, oh, we should get going. And Gnarl's just like, oh, we should get horses now that we have money. And I'm like, they're not gonna be cheap during wartime, but let's go anyway. And I, like, pack up your stuff. Me and Nerhaz will go, and Eliana will go see if we can afford horses and get horses because, fuck walking, because it's like a month to Lephis.
Oh yeah. Like
and
freaking left. We were trying to avoid going there. We got rid of the reason we were
Oh
supposed to go there.
goodness. Yeah. So, and we'll meet everyone there. And so Val says goodbye to his sister, and they exchange this Alvin like greeting. It's like, oh, may
May
it's
like
like,
Dumaras be with you.
yeah, and then that
And
just
Hope
wins
was like,
Hollow. Yeah, she
yeah.
gets, but we're not paying attention, so it's whatever.
So yeah, no.
Yeah, so Evander goes up with Val, it gets his stuff. Nurhaz, Ilyana, and sorry, with Holo as well. The three of them stay there to pack their things. Seeing as Zaren's things, Ilyana's things, and Nurhaz's things are already packed, they leave to go to the stables.
Yeah. Now, before we get to the stables,
Yeah.
Evander and Val go to get their stuff together. To which Evander takes the opportunity to talk to Val because like he's been noticing some things about Holo, like spending a bit of time with her.
Yeah.
Um, and he says to Val, the more that we find out about her, about Val, the more we'll find out about Holo because he thinks that the two of them are connected in some
Yeah.
way. Or
Now that he has, now that he has another elf to compare Val to, right?
yeah,
Because it's
because he
so they're
did
so
notice
really
that
rare.
like Holo's accent was actually quite similar to Leah and Val's,
Yeah.
which kind of raised a few flags.
Yeah, so the three, Nuraz, Ilyana, and Zyrid, make their way to the stables, and they uh, they hunt down the merchant or who's ever taking care of the stables. And on Evander's way there with Val and Hollow, they hear bells. They
Yeah.
hear great big bells ringing, and Evander sends Val and Hollow ahead and says he'll go check out what it's all about, right? What the bells are. Meanwhile, at the stables, we hear the bells. We ask the merchant. He's like, "Well, that means that the gates are opening." He's like, "Hopefully, it's Wallace's and his men, not enemies, right?" And we're
Yeah.
like, "Okay, we should get this transaction over and done with." So apparently, he has 3 horses left. They're not the best horses. They're more like wagon horses, not really
They're
riding horses.
yeah, they're
They're like work horses,
yeah,
like
like
pull the carts.
draft
Yeah,
horses
draft
is what
horses.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah.
Um, and they negotiate. He's asking for around like 2.5 gold for all three. Uh, well, he's asking for 10 silver. 10 silver. What? Not 10 silver.
He's he's asking for more he's asking
Two.
more for the tack
Yeah, yeah. He's
and the
he's
saddles than for
he's
the
asking
horses.
for 2 silver for
I don't
all the horses. No, yes, I think it was 2 silver for all the horses, and we were like, all right. No, no, it was 2 silver for each horse. That's it. 2 silver for each horse, and we're like, because that goes a gold and a half. That was a gold and a half, and we're like, all right. And I was just like, include the saddle and tack, and you have yourself a deal. He's like, well,
He's
these
like,
horses.
that's the stuff that costs the
Yeah,
most.
he's like if we're talking about that, it'll be like 4 silver for horse and tack, and which bumps it up to, I think it was like close to 3 gold in total. Um, yeah, because it's 20 copper equals 1 silver, and 4 silver equals 1 gold, and it is. I trust myself.
Technicality.
Okay, I trust
Technicality.
myself.
Yeah.
Yes, but so it was a lot of money, and I'm like, Devril, take into consideration that he's getting paid 25 gold a month, and he's already spending like a good chunk of it just for like shitty horses. It's probably not an investment. So he says, you know, he thinks for a bit, and he says, make it an even 2 gold, and know that you're helping God's work. Yeah? Judicator? God? He sees all the money? People are devout? Yeah? Yeah? Got it. So he agrees, and we get them for cheaper, which is fantastic. Fan freaking tastic. So we saddle up the horses, we grab provisions quickly, on our way to the main gate where Evander's there, and we find out where all the ringing is coming from. It is Wallace's men. They look hella beat up. There's a parade, there's a procession line of wounded, battered, dead soldiers, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's
I think
the
Jeff said that the army yeah, the army coming back is like there's Sarmath's army, there's the other three armies as well.
yeah,
And all of them combined are about the same size as
as
like
one.
the smallest army. as Lady Sarma's army that we saw coming towards the camp.
Well,
Um,
small, yeah, smallest army was still,
which
yeah,
still, it
yeah,
wasn't that small,
yeah.
but it was still like all the three
Yes, combined
condensed,
to make
yeah, are now the size of that is
absolutely.
pretty significant. There's also Baron Mannerly who Devril met, is there with his contingent. Sir Adam is also there. He's injured and his helmet is in his hand.
Yeah, he has a sling on his hand. It looks fucked up. His hand
Yeah.
looks fucked up. But yes, we see this procession line, and they got routed. Like they got absolutely wrecked. Um, they actually Zyron goes over to talk with Lord Bannerly and exchange a couple words. Um, he finds out what happens in Sandon. They basically got fucked. Is Aaron surprised that Banwick Mence didn't chase him, or chase them? And he says, "Yeah, they're right behind us. Like they'll be here by nightfall, sort of deal." And I'm like, "Oh, well, the castle will hold, right?" And he's like, "For a while." Like for a while, like we can only hope. And so Zarna asks if they send word to the king now that the Amarians have come into the picture. I want to
Hmm.
say the king can't possibly sit back and say no, because this is basically an invasion, right? It's basically an Amarian invasion now, and Banwick is kind of like, I almost feel like it's treason. Like this is treason.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like,
Yeah.
fuck you, king. Like, I know you gave me my land and my titles and like
He's
all
like, but
this
I
shit,
want this one.
but I want more, and then I'm just gonna ask your enemies for some help so I can defeat my nasty little brother over there who wants what I
Yeah.
have. Like that's just it just feels very treasonous. So but
Totally.
we find out the map that the capital is all the way east and south,
Hmm.
and they've sent messengers, but all the messengers either have to go through Banwick's territory, which is not going to happen, so they have to go all the way around. And if Lefis was 1 month away, which was like on the other side of a territory, this is like 8 counties over. Like
Yeah. It's quite a
it's
ways.
it's gonna take a while. So yeah, it's looking pretty dire. But Zarin also sees the what's her name? Not Countess. The
Viscountess. Um,
the knight.
Alana Rycorn?
No, the knight that saved us at the very first one where Arthur died. That lady knight.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot, what was her
yeah,
name?
exactly. Fuck. Anyway, she's
Yeah,
there, and he nods over, saying thanks and all that good jazz, while
yeah.
he's still talking to Mannerly. And this time it's Zarin, not Devril. Zarin's like, well, you'll forgive me if I don't stay and fight with you, because this is not it's not my shit. And he seems pissed off, but he's like, whatever, get
Like, yeah,
out of
I
here.
understand. Now, meanwhile, while these guys are talking about the Amarians, I finally passed my roll
Mm.
because Jeff gave me like a plus 50. um, so they're talking about the Amarians, and Ilyana finally remembers
Mm.
something about them.
Mm.
She and so
Remembers about yourself.
yeah, remembers about
Remembers about
herself because of
yourself.
the Amarians. So she doesn't look like the Amarians. Like they're very, very dark skinned. Um, yeah, and she's pale, yeah, pale and like dark hair. She doesn't look like them, but she's technically from there. She's from a place called Old Sendor. It's essentially the England to Theron's America.
Okay.
is what Jeff said. It was conquered by the Amarians years ago. It was this massive empire. Um, and so because of this, she doesn't know how she's in Theron right now. She has no idea how she got there, but she's there. Um, and so while she's remembering all this, she just goes white as a sheet, and she's just standing there
Yeah. Zyron
in
notices.
awe.
Zyron notices when
Oh,
the Marion thing. Well, we rolled to see if we
that's
noticed
right.
you
Oh yeah, and you did. Oh
being
yeah,
yeah
you were on double O's
doubles
all night,
O's yeah.
all night long.
So yeah,
Yeah,
so he notices and stars it for later.
yeah,
Would talk about the Marians. But yeah, now the off in the distance they see we see like the parade march of Banwick's men, and they're closing the gates already, and we're like, we should get the fuck out of here, and they're closing the main gate already, and we're like, Westgate,
we had to
Westgate,
go.
Westgate, yeah, Westgate, let's go.
Yeah,
And we make a dash for it. There's a bunch of people trying to stop us. The gates are closing. You can't leave. And we're like, no, no, this is not for us. So we make it. Thankfully, we burst through the west gate. And we're taking the loop-de-loop around to avoid the army. And as we're galloping along, we actually see some riders, some dark clothed hooded riders flanking us. They're keeping pace with our shitty slow draft horses, and
yeah.
they're Marians. They must have been like um a scouting party for Banwick's men, to make sure that there were no one that were leaving the castle. Like no messengers, no stuff like that. Seeing that we can't outrun them, and we have a river to our left side, and they're on our right side in the field.
Yeah.
We all
Nurhaz yells. He's like, "Riders to the north!" And then
yeah,
the other people yell, and we're like, "Okay, we're doing this." So
yeah,
they are Amarians.
yeah,
They're American people.
yeah. So we disembark dismount. There's the
We
word for it.
dismount. There
We
you go.
dismount and and prepare for this. Ilyana and Zarin have their love hate moment. Uh, love weird.
It's like it's like second nature now. It's like, oh, we're going to battle here. Take a bite.
oh, oh
Uh, and
shit.
then Stern puts on the full helm of the snarling wolf.
Yeah, they were
Pulls it
working the
down.
town. So the armor that Nurhaz fixed up, he made some modifications, obviously, and it's like it's really nice plate mail. Obviously, it's dwarven made, or dwarven reforged, and he changed the helmet to it. It covers the full head, but there's like the face shield that you can put up and down, and it's when it's down, it looks like a snarling wolf. So it's all the rows of teeth and of a wolf. So that was pretty cool, that he added that touch. Yeah, and we go to work. Zyron kills a lot of people.
Yeah, he does. As per
And
usual, though.
yeah, that's true. What's notable there? Val does her like icy freezing armor thing again. Nurhaz knocks some people out. Evander spear tackles more people and like knocks them out. And then Zyron just kills a lot of people. There was one notable thing though. Zyron stabbed a guy to a point where there was so much blood on the ground, you couldn't walk past
People
it.
who went near would like slip in it.
Yeah. So that was
Yeah,
that. Yeah, he crit a guy and he made a puddle of blood on the ground that you couldn't walk over,
it's
or
great.
else you'd fall on your ass.
So
Yeah.
good.
There were horse archers that were running around besides swordsmen too. Uh, they didn't do shit. Oh, one of them broke his bow. Oh, that was
Yeah,
hilarious.
that was great.
Jeff rolled so bad that the guy broke his bow. That was funny. Oh, and then to end the battle, the guy who broke his bow had just the worst day ever because Evander then comes and charges the horse and then flying tackles the guy off the horse because
Yeah.
he doesn't have a bow, and then he's the guy. Oh my god, he's having the worst day ever because he's the one that we kept alive. He's the last one that's alive. He was
That's
stunned
right.
on the ground.
And we haven't had a chance
He's
to
he's
interrogate him
he's
yet.
not gonna. That's not gonna end well for him. Maybe, I don't know, but I can't imagine it ending well for him at all. So yeah, and that was it. We're about
Well,
maybe
Ileana
like.
might learn some stuff about herself.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well,
by
I
by talking to that
I meant
guy.
like him though, like him personally. He's
Oh,
just
he's
gonna
he's
yeah
gonna
he's
die. It's gonna be brutal.
oh yeah, uh
He's gonna
yeah,
have a
but
bad
he's
time.
gonna have a bad time regardless. But yeah, so I would say we're about like a kilometer or two away from the castle. It's pretty flat because we were galloping, but yeah, we're not very far away from the castle at all. So we will have to gain some distance after we quickly question this guy in our next session
On
of Sunday
Sunday.
night. Sunday night RPG, which is this Sunday. Oh, no more breaks. No more breaks. No more breaks. Can't have that. Can't have that. But that's it for us.
For this,
Yeah, for
stick
this.
around for some news.
Important news. Important stream news,
Mm-hmm.
especially pertaining to Sunday Night RPG. So stick around. But that is it for this Recap Thursday, and we will see you in the next one.